the Drapac boys in the red.
Here's the city. Now, this is just one part of it. You see the road goes off up there towards the left-hand side. Some of it's just being preserved and indeed reassembled, some of it. It's quite remarkable. You're walking down the streets of what was what is the most intact remnant. There's the old library, incidentally. You may recognise it from some James Bond movies, I believe. Yes, it's absolutely outstanding. It's a UNESCO heritage site, and it's more than that. It is just quite simply mind-blowing when you walk around it and you feel that you're in the footsteps of many, many millions of people who've been before. 13.3 kilometres then, and this is the race for the foot of this climb. It's 5 kilometres, Brian, so essentially this is the sprint before the climb.
It is. The wind is actually coming from the right of our screen, the left of the rider's shoulders, and that's why a lot of the riders are battling in the right-hand side in the gutter at the moment. Many teams trying to come up in the left-hand side. The wind is quite a strong crosswind, but not enough to put it into echelons. Everybody riding hard towards the front, riding into Selçuk. They'll do a U-turn back towards this climb, but again, many teams starting to battle now for a place at the front of the peloton as Teo Boss brings the MTN Quebec boys up.
In their black and white stripes, you can also see the green jersey of our points leader. Sasha Madolo is also on help-out duties, I guess, for Lampre Merida and his teammates. It's Christian Durasek that he's driving into. There's the long view of Ephesius. You can see the circus, the amphitheatre as well, up the hill. You can see the wash areas, the marketplace, down
this
towards
is the top part. This is the top part that we come into at 5 kilometres to go, and I thought that was it, and I went all the way down, and it was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, there's more and more and more of it. It just constantly reveals itself, and there we are. That's just part of it as well. They've sort of built it into the valleys, giving it protection from the wind and the elements, and it just it goes on and on. You're just looking at one section of it. Look further down there is where they used to keep the animals, and there's a little circus area, theatre as well. There's the fish market down by the riverside as well. Well, that was the library, as we mentioned earlier on as well, so a great seat of learning. So, who's going to teach us something today about this race? CCC have come to the fore. It's for David Rebellin, of course. He wears the blue jersey, so the men in orange will be working for him, and he's embedded for the time being. Bardiani are also, yet again, looking very interested in not just displaying their jersey, but also getting involved. Brett and Sesh are the ones that I think you're going to have to give some focus to. Edward Sepulveda, but there's a lot of options out there today.
There is, and you know, we've been through some of them already. You've already mentioned McCarthy of Tinkoff, Jurasek of Lampre, Sepulveda of Breton Sachet, Para, who's on the attack for Caruao, Rebellin, the race leader, Cano of Colombia, Pauls and Bahani of MTN Quebec. Stan, I've got an Agnoli, Barbon of Bardiani, and also Megias of Team Novo Nordist, maybe Rato for United Health there, Savaji, who's up there for Wanty Group Gilbert, and Machinsky of the Torku team.
Here we go then. It's a full chat at the moment, and Sasha Madolo in the green jersey of Lampre. Well, his teammates are in pink of Lampre, of course. He's wearing the green jersey. Meanwhile, at the back of the bunch, those who've done their job just allowed a little bit of easing. Florian Guillou of Breton Sèche was the man who started them on their approach. 10.5 kilometres, so another 5 to go before we start to climb. It's a gentle introduction. It really doesn't start to kick up properly until 4 kilometres from home. It goes 2, 3, 4 and 5% in that 5 kilometre marker, and then it's 5 incrementally increasing up to 9 with 3 out, and then it averages around 8.5 until we get to what, about 1.3 kilometres to go. That's when you hit the 12% real test, and then it's 8% to the line as an average.
So just heading up now, the last couple of hundred metres to do this U-turn. It's Lampre doing an excellent job for Jurasek. They want to keep him in a very good position. He's in fact sitting in 3rd position as they head in to this dogleg.
So they drift over to the right-hand side of the road so they can get a good view of the left-hand turn. They're sort of flattening it out as best they can, and they do so. Turco's trying to dive bomb up the inside, and they've just got into the mix with MTN Quebecer, which Brian Smith's not happy about. He's gripping his seat as we speak, but they've all got through nice and cleanly. 9.3 kilometres to go, so it's the return, if you like, down the other side of the highway after making that U-turn displayed there for you to help the riders. And United Healthcare come and join the fun right now. I wonder if Danny Ratto's got an option today.
Well, he rode well on the stage to El Mali, finishing 9th place, and he's been up there or thereabouts in many of the other stages, so I wouldn't put it past him. I just think it's a little steep from about 3 kilometres to the finish for someone like Ratto to be in here. But again, you look how steep the climb of Gobelli was. A lot of riders still battling for position. No real panic, but we go out of Selçuk and we'll be heading right soon, and we'll head to the ancient city of Efes, but it's still Lampley leading away with the United Healthcare in the blue and whites, just mixing it up with them.
Durasek has a big option. He's 22 seconds down, and he believes that he has been wounded by the race and deserves more. Turco come to the fore right now. It's Mashinsky, Thomas Mashinsky, that they're thinking of perhaps, as well as Kevin Zieldrijers, two very powerful riders, neither of them Turkish of course, but nonetheless they are very much part of that team of the green with the pink helmets, with the red helmets on, I beg your pardon. So here we go, full drive as one of the commissaires comes through from the organisation, telling us what a great race it is. Well, we knew that anyway. 8.1 kilometres then, and so pace high, get yourself together, look for your wingman if you need help up this climb, and plenty will, Brian.
Yeah, they will, and just see the effort on the front of the peloton, and everybody just trying to hang on to the back of the peloton. A very good job here from United Healthcare. Then you've got the blue jerseys of Wante, Goubert, a lot of lime green jerseys in there for Bardiani, a lot of pushing and shoving, everybody trying to battle, bring their climber towards the front. Lamprey still on the front with the pink jerseys, also Lotto Soudal, just thinking of Adam Hansen, who finished 9th in this stage last year.
Talk about wanting to carry some pace into the climb. That's Sasha Modolo of Lampre Merida, dead centre of that little trio, as you can see, known as a sprinter, but so is Ratto, and he finished 8th, don't forget, on our opening climb to El Mali. So could go well today for United Healthcare. What about Bardiani? Well, Barbin, Battaglin and Colbrelli, 3 options, and even Ruffoni doing the sprinter doing a turn for them, just to give them as much momentum into the climb as they possibly can. In fact, the men in lime green look pretty handy at the moment. Will it be that way at the end today?
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. A lot of riders now doing their job. Modolo with the green jersey just pulling off. All these riders that have done a very good day's work for their team climber are just pulling off to the side and going to leave them to it. And
here come Orica Greenidge, never to be denied. When there's a chance of taking something, they'll be there. Cameron Meyer, their choice, but he's got some real quick men as well who can guide him into position. And look at that, it's like an express train, Brian.
Yeah, Adam Blythe bringing Caleb Ewan up to the front of the peloton. Still the race leader, David Rebelin, right up towards the front. Day over for Modolo. He'll be happy to keep that green jersey, but no sprint for him today. No sprint for him today. Stage winner yesterday. They'll be looking to hold on to that jersey in stages 7 and 8 still to come. He's done a good job of leading his men, contenders, to position today. It's Durasek, of course, for Lampre Merida that they're thinking about. The man who's second overall. He needs to find 22 seconds. It's probably a big ask, maybe too big. We'll see. So stage win up for grabs. We'll see whether Sepulveda, Eduardo Sepulveda, the young Argentine talent who revealed himself finishing in 3rd place with a brave push, possibly mistimed it at El Mali. Can he get it right this time? Well, the men in the green and black who are working for him, Bresensesh Environmental, just behind the Turco rider here right now, are dragging him into a terrific spot, but everybody else is taking a little bit of respite as we approach. 6 to go. Climb officially starts in about 500-600 metres. Well, this has been a pretty easy stage for most of the day. A headwind all the way to the climbs, but you can just see the pace is really on. Everybody battling, everybody trying to bring their team leader up to the bottom of this climb. It's 5 kilometres from the bottom to the top of the climb, and yet they're still battling for positions.
They are, and as some of those quick men peel off and drift back through the pack, as you can see, it's causing a little bit of worriment. Just hope they can all stay where they need to be. Breton really are stepping up to the mark here. So are Turku for Seal Dryers and Mashinsky. We might get something of a surprise today if the GC boys suddenly start looking at each other. But beware, there are stage wins to be had here, and maybe something dramatic in terms of the gap. So we start climbing. There's the average, 7.6%. It's less than that just for the time being, but it starts to kick and kick again, and you get a very good kicking, I can tell you, from about 1,400 metres out, 1.4 to go. It's 12%. That's rude, and so is this move.
There's really sprinting into this climb. Big move from Turku now, the 3rd division team. You can just see a kind of lull in the action now. Everybody trying to grab their breath at the head of the peloton as we go up to the entrance of the ancient city of Efes in the right-hand side.
There we are, at the entrance where you buy your entry into the past, as they say. And he head round just past the little trinket sellers, and then the road just gradually, slowly but surely kicks up and gets harder and harder and harder from this moment out. So that was the easy bit. Now it gets very difficult. Sort of flattish section past the tourist sellers. A quick look at Ephesus again, or Ephesus, or even Efes. All are correct, depending on which nation you're from. Ephesius is another one. 4.7 kilometres then, and now the chase down begins, and United Healthcare pick it up. I think they might well be working for Danny Ratto today. We'll see. Who's your choice for Quebecer?
Well, they've got 2 choices up towards the front. They've got Serge Pauls and Nat Nel Bahani. But I tell you what, this rider from Turku is absolutely giving it 100%. Then you've got, looks like Brice Filou coming towards the front. He's looking behind. Where is Sepulveda? A lot of huffing and puffing now. A lot of people making faces, as you can see. Mario Costa for Lamprey just making a face of the effort they're having to put in so far.
They are, and there'll be a lot of grimacing at the end of the day. If it was a bit of a cakewalk as far as the day has been concerned, well, everything changes right here, right now. And look at that. That's Mace, who's just heading backwards, having done his job. These guys just riding it home from Ethics Quickstep. I think Mark Cavendish, of course, will be in battle again over the next couple of days, and these are the men who will be guiding him into position. Just getting through today to tee up the sprints and indeed the battle for that points jersey later on. Meanwhile, the battle for today, and indeed perhaps the title right now. Astana also engaging with the day, which is good to see. Agnoli and Lopez, their choices, and indeed they're both here up front.
Yeah, slight headwind at this moment, and a real battle for a lot of these riders. Brice Filou on the left-hand side. McCarthy right up there for Tinkoff, but it's Natnael Bahani comes up with Serge Pauls in the wheel.
Rangy figure of Selvaggi is also there from Wanty Group Gabert. He's over towards the barriers. You can see him now, clear in full view. He never really gets much rest from the wind, I'm afraid, because he's such a tall character. The wind has dropped again. The trees are absolutely static, and this is a great push by MTN Quebecer. Good show at the front. Yeah, they're pushing hard. Natnael Bahani won this race a couple of years ago, was out of sorts in the climb up to El Mali, but he's trying to help his team captain, and that's Serge Pauls sitting in second place. Also looking comfortable in the yellow is the Tinkoff rider, just trying to see where Rebellin is. He's still in there, but it's all over for Mark Cavendish and pretty much the whole of the Ethics team. Day off for them. Yeah, they will be very busy tomorrow, and indeed the last day around Istanbul. So 3.5 kilometres to go. It starts to kick up now. We're about 7, coming up to 8%. It'll be kicking into 9, 10 and 11. 12 is our max. And indeed, they say that on some of the hairpins, and I wouldn't be surprised, having seen it myself, that it's a little bit more than that. That's where we're heading, Brian.
Yep, we've still got 3.4 to go, and we're starting the hardest part of the climb now. Everybody's been put into position now. It's been left up to the GC boys. The peloton now been led by the United Healthcare, but most of the general classification riders are right up there.
Valencia is not going to pick up any more mounting points at the end of today. As you can see, they are riding away from it, starting to string out. A bomb's gone off for a lot of these guys, I'm afraid, and they have, well, they've got other fish to fry on other days as far as the GC men are concerned, and they're looming large, even though he's quite a diminutive figure, is our leader, David Rebellin, with the orange helmet and of course the blue leader's jersey, and he just moves to the right hand side of the road. He's just tagged behind on your screen the left hand side as you look at it, but it's the right hand side of the road. Little shake of the head there from Sepulveda, who starts to make his move, unzipped his jersey, as many are on this very warm day, Brian.
Yeah, this front group now starting to whittle itself down to about 20 riders. We start to come into the corners. 3 kilometres to go, and we start to head into like the 9%, 8% for the next kilometre and a half.
About 25 riders together now, with an option on today, maybe a little bit less than that, and getting fewer in number as one of the United Healthcare boys just goes by, and Astana pick it up at the pace, pick the pace up at the front. They've got to stay with them if they want a piece up today, and this looks like a proper move with 2.9 to go.
Yeah, massive attack. We just had a slight headwind until we came round that corner. A bit of a tailwind for the next kilometre now. You can just see the speed is really up. McCarthy really going for it. Sepulveda trying to go up to him. This is a big stage for the man in second place. Still a long way to go, 2.8 kilometres. Still a good group behind, but Sepulveda just looks behind. I don't think he could go with the acceleration of the Astana rider McCarthy. You just look at McCarthy gritting his teeth. Has he gone too early? I think he possibly may have.
Well, he's been dragged into the situation with 2.7 kilometres to go, and in about another 900 metres time is when the real hurt begins. Sepulveda didn't want to do all the work on his own, and now Lamprey are starting to just counter-punch as well on behalf of Durasek. In fact, it's Durasek himself that's decided he's got to make a bridge, and it's Sepulveda that gets just on his back wheel, and everybody else locked together. Rebellin is a bit of a passenger today. He just has to mark them out, and here everybody looking at each other. Masbonnet's also in the mix here, which is a surprise, and they're picking it up yet again.
Well, Masbonnet did look strong, but Lopez and McCarthy still heading away. It's actually Thomas de Gent, the rider that was in the breakaway yesterday, on the front for Lotto Soudal. As we can see, just starting to get into a bit of a headwind today. So de Gent leading at the front of the peloton, chasing these two riders of Lopez and McCarthy, who I said had probably gone a little too early and starting to suffer now.
Yeah, McCarthy certainly suffering as he shot his bolt, as they say, with 2.3 to go. Lopez just picks it up and grinds into this incline yet again, and is doing a fine job of doing exactly that. And in fact, I think he may well have made a proper move here. He's kept his legs nice and fresh. De Gent starting to struggle just a little bit. He's doing most of the catching work right now, and this looks like a free ride with 7 seconds. Doesn't sound like much, but Lopez is good at this sort of thing.
Yeah, he's finding a good rhythm. He was missing the other day, the climb up to El Mali, but looking better today. But this man really starting to suffer now. He's just about to be caught by the peloton, but Masbonnet, the rider in the Beauty Sprints leader's jersey white, decides to go on the attack.
Yes, he does, and if he comes back to count back in that competition, if he happens to finish on level points, then a good result will help him. Kaya Oral, well represented here, and there is the leader for CCC, Sprani Polkovici, with orange accents on the leader's blue jersey, absolutely where he needs to be, which is amongst those who are surround him in the general classification. 1.9 kilometres to go, so the hardest part of the climb is just coming to us right now.
Yeah, the hardest part is just about 1 kilometre to go, or thereabouts. It's 12%. It does get a bit easier here. It eases off to about 6%, but still a large group here. Nobody going on the attack. Still Lopez in front. 13 seconds, a good advantage, but it's now Cajarual trying to come to the front. Remember, they had Para on the attack in the climb up to El Mali. It does look as if McCarthy has got his breath back. He was with Lopez, couldn't stay with him. and is now back in the chasing group.
Well, just pick a marker at the side of the road and count back, and it really is 12 seconds, despite what it might look like. Selvaggi, you know, has got himself back together, but he's starting to grimace just a little bit. Kaya Roral with Bilbao, is it him today? I believe so, but Selvaggi looks, Sepulveda also looks like he's caught his breath again. The Brennan-Session Environmental man. He's just over towards the barriers there in the green and black, and he comes out the saddle right now as the attack rolls in. And guess what? It is our man again, Mas Bonnet, in that Turkish beauty sprints jersey, not the leader. And there's a little gap opening up here. Where is Revelan? Back with the pack. And in fact, it's Durasek that's gone off here. But can he find 22 seconds? This is an important moment. Durasek's gone up the road. He was only 7 seconds was the gap yesterday, and no follow for the time being from Rebellin.
He can't do it, but what a magnificent performance today by Cajarual. Mas Bonnet is leading the way. Looks like Para is in there, and he's also got Concalves. So a really good team effort from the team from Spain.
Well, this nearest man to Revelan is Durasek from Lampre Merida. Kaya Roral are going for this, but what's the gap between Durasek and Revelin? That's the important thing for the title.
Yeah, it can only be about 5-10 seconds at this moment. He has to come to the front. He has to try and contain things. He's still sitting on the wheels. Still a difficult part of this climb, as we said. This is the steepest part, round about the 12% now. It does level off to be 8% all the way to the line, but you can just see the green jerseys, many of them right towards the front of this race today.
Christian Durasek of Lampre sits 22 seconds back, and still the gap is growing. It's growing again. Adam Yates, don't forget, won the title on this very climb after beating Rain Taramay. Yates took the stage, Adam did, and Taramay finishing in 4th place. So what's going to be the gap then between Durasek and Rebellin by the time we get to the line? There's no response for the moment from David Rebellin, the 43-year-old from CC Sprandi Polkovici, and his man who's nearest to him is going up the road here, not out front. He's an intermittent rider, just in no man's land as far as these guys are concerned for the stage victory, but may well be just latching on to the clock in his mind. He's got to think about that gap and go for it, Brian. He's got no other choice.
Yeah, it looks as if he's starting to tire ever so slightly, the young 21-year-old Colombian. Bilbao was trying to come across for Cajarual. He's got another teammate, Para, just behind. They're absolutely killing themselves to come up to Lopez, but Lopez, if he can just maintain this, he could be heading for a stage win, but Bilbao is the only rider, I think, now that can take it away from him.
Yeah, I believe that move was crucial and indeed emphatic, and he still looks fresh, the man out front, freshest of all. And now time to go on the attack, is it? Rolls through and just takes it. A bit of a surprise, I think, for Lopez, but Bilbao from Kaya Roral hits the front. Oh, is this fading? Is this Revelan just starting to fade? He's been distanced by those he's been trying to ride with. The gaps are going to be crucial here, Brian, by the end. It may well be the title is going to get handed over today.
Well, we just have to wait and see. 22 seconds to Durasek. I don't think Durasek has that advantage at this moment. To the front with 500 metres to go. It's going to be Lopez and Bilbao for the stage win, but where is Durasek? Durasek is just on the right hand side. He's looking behind. He's looking to see where is Rebellin. He just has to give it 100% and try and take 23 seconds in today's stage.
Rebellin knows that. He gets out of the saddle and he just has to wrestle the gap. That's got no one with him. There's no protection right now. As he comes around a headland, he might find a bit of a breeze, which will not be to his liking. Lopez Forestara is out front. Bilbao of Kaya Roral in the green. These two together using the camera bike as best they possibly can. Any advantage may well be taken at a moment such as this. Everybody leaning right now on Durasek, who's leading that group, and this man is feeling the heat. Now, it was a 7-second gap, don't forget. Then the commissaires decided to add 15 to that, despite a crash yesterday. So 22 seconds is the count back. We're just going to get our stopwatches ready for you. But it's Durasek we're interested in, apart from these guys who are going for stage victory right now. Lopez has a look over his shoulder for Astana with 200 metres to go. This could be cruel, Brian. Very cruel indeed.
Yeah, an excellent performance by Cajarual. Can he pull off the stage? They're going to have two riders in the top three. Lopez is still leading. They're going to leave it late, but I think Bilbao may have the legs on Lopez.
Well, Lopez has been nothing out but out front, and Bilbao comes by him right now and races for victory. And Bilbao's going to give Kaya Roral the win that they've been looking for. Very well done. They take a stage win. They may well take the Turkish Beauty Sprints as well title, so they take the day. But we look further down, and we wait for Durasek to come across the line. Where is he? There he is in the pink. Durasek now, he's the man in second place, don't forget, as the others finish right now. And your clock starts now. 22 seconds is what David Rebellin had, and our clock is running 5, 6, 7, 8. It continues to go, and we look down, and we're waiting for Rebellin. We're waiting for the blue jersey. Did he manage to pick it up? 14 seconds now. He's not going to do it. He's going to lose the title right here, right now. 20 seconds, there it is. He's lost it. He's handed it over right now. A brave effort, certainly, from David Rebellin, but he's still got 100 meters to go. In fact, he's going to lose this by a country mile, and the jersey hands over to Christian Durasek of Lamprey. Oh, what an absolutely superb performance. His other teammates coming across the line right now. This is Rebellin, and he is 42 seconds or so down on the man who was closest to him, Christian Durasek. We have a new leader, and I think we've got a new winner of the Tour of Turkey. What a day, always pivotal. It was last year when Adam Yates did it, went on to victory, and Durasek has done it right here. All credit to Kaya Roral, but I think we found our winner, race winner that is.
Yeah, a big effort there by Bilbao, the 25-year-old Spanish rider. Second year with Caja Rural now, and repays him. He was 3 years with Euskaltel. He only had 2 wins in his career, but he just left it very, very late and gets his third Pro win, and a very good win at that. 100 metres to go, and he just leaves Lopez, the instigator, on this climb. The rider that went away early on with McCarthy kept it going, but he was joined by Bilbao, and Bilbao takes the plaudits today. A great stage for Caja Rural, finishing first and third today.
It was all about what went on behind, though, which seems to have been missed by our pictures here. So, despite our stage winner here, and our congratulations heartfelt to him and indeed Kaya Roral and their celebrations, it's about our overall leader. Christian Durasek takes the lead of this race for Lamprey Merida. He brought his pink and blue team jersey across the line at about an 18-second deficit to the stage winner, but crucially the gap between himself and the race leader David Rebellin was over 40 seconds. And so the gap in the general classification is now significant enough for us to believe we've found our champion in Christian Durasek, despite this fantastic win for Kaya Roral. Well, Bilbao did a good job, but this was a sad sight for David Rebellin. I guess the clock, a beaten man today on a tough climb.
Yeah, tough climb. He finished third in last year. Did look at a rather weak team, the CCC Sprandy team, and David Rebellin shows the spoils of a hard day in the stad. Although it wasn't a fast speed today, it's been hard.